Hello there, NFL fanatics! I am back once again for the NFL picks. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. It is your host here. Once again, it is Rai. Now, before I give you my picks on week number 2, I'm going to let you know, my viewers, how I did last week in week number 1. 7 wins and 8 losses. Not a very good week for me. It was crash and burn. I was not very pleased. But hopefully I can rebound from last week in week 1. So let's discuss about the picks for week 2. And it kicks off tonight for a Thursday night matchup between the Houston Texans versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, on paper, it might be a crappy matchup, but it might be a different ball game when you watch it on television, So I'm going with Cincinnati. I forgot to mention both teams lost in week 1. So one team might be 1-1, or one team might be 0-2. We'll find out on Sunday. So once again, I'm going with the Bengals. Next matchup is Tom Brady and the defending Super Bowl champions New England Patriots versus Drew Brees and New Orleans Saints. Now this is going to be a tough game to pick. Maybe for you it's easy as pie. I'm going with the Patriots with Tom Brady. They had a very, very awful defeat last Thursday night. I thought it would be a different game. A closer game, but it's a total hard game to watch. I'm not a Patriots fan, but I want a better game to watch. First game on primetime football. But it happens in football, right? So once again, I'm going to Patriots. Patriots, don't let me down this time, but probably you will. Okay, next matchup is the Chicago Bears versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. If you guys were curious, and gals, this game is still going to be scheduling for this Sunday due to the major storms. I guess it did not hit the area by the football stadium, so that is a good thing, not a bad thing. So I'm going with the Buccaneers. Bears came this close to pull up a mega upset against the NFC champions, the Atlanta Falcons, last Sunday afternoon. That was a very good game. The running game was clicking. Everything was clicking. But for some reason, they can't pull up the mega upset last Sunday. And plus, off the record, I'm going to make this short and sweet. We lost another receiver. He's out for the rest of the year. He's injury prone. So I think the Bears should just dump him once his contract expires. What's your thoughts? So they got to pick up a guy from the practice squad. So let's see what happens. So once again, we'll go on Tampa Bay. Watch, Bears will win. And I'm going to say, what? Every time I pick the Bears, they lose. Every time I don't pick the Bears, they win. That's how it works. Next matchup, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going with Kansas City because they did great against the defending Super Bowl champions, the Patriots. So let's see what happens, okay? Andy Reid against his former team, Philadelphia Eagles. If you guys don't know who, and gals don't know who Andy Reid is, he's a former head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. He took them to the Super Bowl back in, 2005 with Donovan and I think with T.O. They should win it, but they faced Tom Brady and company. The rest is history. That was a very good Super Bowl. So I'm going with the Chiefs. Next matchup, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hands down, the Steelers. Minnesota looks pretty decent this past Monday night, but they play against a crappy team. So you can't really judge if these teams are going to be good or not good in week 1, can you? No, you cannot. Okay, next matchup, the Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going with Baltimore. This is a division rival. Next matchup, the Buffalo Bills versus the Carolina Panthers. I'm going with Carolina. The next matchup, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going with Arizona this time. Last Sunday, no Andrew Luck. He's the quarterback for the Colts. They got destroyed. Without Andrew Luck, Colts have no chance. I'm being honest. And Arizona Cardinals lost one of their very, very big running back / receiver, so he's out. I guess he's going to have surgery, so that sucks. Hopefully he have a speedy recovery. Okay, next matchup, the Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going Jacksonville. They look pretty good in week 1. Let's see if it continues in week 2. Next matchup, the New York Jets versus the Oakland Raiders. I'm going Oakland. Next matchup, the Miami Dolphins versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers. I still don't like that name, the Los Angeles Chargers. I like the name they had last year, the San Diego Chargers. They moved. Well, they didn't move. Did they move yet? I can't recall. I think they did, but they're going to get a new stadium in the future. So it sucks that San Diego did not give the Chargers a new stadium. It all comes down to money. So I'm going with the Chargers. Okay, next matchup, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going with Seattle. This is a division rival, and they're going to have another division rival later on this year. They'll be in San Francisco next time. This time it will be in Seattle. So I'm going with Seattle. Next matchup, the Washington Redskins versus the Los Angeles Rams. Yes, another LA team. So I'm going with the Rams. They look pretty good in week 1, but let's see if it continues. And the Rams looks very, very shaky in the fourth quarter. If you saw the highlights, wow, unbelievable. Okay, let's see here. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Denver Broncos. I'm going with Denver. Probably Cowboys will win. I might just switch my pick with Cowboys because they got their running back, Elliott. I'm going with Dallas. And now for Sunday Night Football, this is going to be a good game, hopefully on paper. This might be a high-scoring game like in the 30s or maybe in the 40s. You don't know. Okay, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers and company versus the NFC champions, the Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan and company. And this will be the first time the Atlanta Falcons will have a home game in a brand new stadium, Atlanta Falcons. They also have games for college football once in a while, if you guys don't know or do know. So that's going to be a good game. I'm definitely going to check that game out this Sunday night for Sunday Night Football. Now, for Monday Night Football, Detroit Lions versus Eli and the New York Giants. I don't like the Giants. I don't like Detroit, but I have to pick someone, correct? So I'm going with the Giants. They looked pretty good last week. I think they won. I don't know. So that wraps it up with my recap for week 1, and that's my picks for week 2. If you're wondering, was there a doubleheader for tonight? Yeah, they only do it for 1 week for doubleheader Monday night. They should do it every week, but that'd be too much for the players. So those are my picks. And that's my recap. So that wraps it up. Who you really think is going to win week 2? Any upsets in the making? Now, I want to ask you a question. I know I go a little overboard. I'm sorry. But you can't really tell week 1 and week 2 if they're going to make the playoffs. If they're going to have a good season. Can you? Or do you think? I think by week 4, week 5, they're going to be legit and contender for the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Am I right? Or am I wrong? Don't forget to hit the notification on your little phone or laptops or any mobile device, and you will get a notification. Then you know when my next upload. That really means a lot to me, and I love doing these things. They're very fun to do, and I do fantasy football. I have like a super team of football, but it's very, very cool. I know it'd probably be kind of nerdy for saying that, but I like doing it. I've been doing that for years and all that good stuff. So, good luck with your teams. I'm going to wish my Bears luck. Hopefully, this time they win. But for my fantasy, for my pick them, I want them to lose. because they're in a rebuilding session. So that's not a bad thing. That is a good thing. Maybe, just maybe, Bears fans will get the rookie to take over the helms when it's crunch time. But we'll see. I'm not going to give up on this, the guy from where they picked up from free agency named Mike Cannon. But he needs to come up in the clutch time. Don't hesitate. Don't get frustrating if you can't get in the freaking end zone. If that happens, give it to the darn running back. Maybe you could just punch it in and they could win. Or try to do like fake field goals. Do some trickery, for crying out loud. So that's just a little tip from one of your fans here, the Reister. Okay, so I went overboard. Go Bears and go look with your NFL team, whoever you support. So I'll be here into the whole entire season, the playoffs, and especially the freaking Super Bowl. I forgot to mention in week 1, the Super Bowl will be in Minnesota this year, or actually next year, next February in 2018. Home of the Minnesota Vikings, if you guys don't know or don't know. Okay, I'm out here. Have a good one. Sorry I went overboard. See you guys next time.